Before we proceed with collapsing and expanding detail, I'd like to alter the pivot table. The first thing I'd like to do is to put year in the column labels field. So I'm going to drag year into column labels. I'm going to drag region into the row labels. So I'm going to drag region down and into row labels. I wish to remove last name, so I'm going to drag last name out of the row labels box and just drop it here where I see an X, where my mouse is. And that gets rid of this field from the pivot table. I'm going to drag department and put that under region in the row labels field. And I'm going to drag avActual out of the values box and again drop it where my mouse shows an X to remove it from the pivot table. I'd like to rename avTarget, so I'm going to click avTarget and go into the value field settings. I'd like to change the function back to sum, and I'd like to click the number format to change the format back to general. And OK, and OK. So what I now have are my years as column labels, but this says departments. I don't want to lose the triangle, i.e. my ability to filter out certain years, but I don't want to see the word departments. So I'm going to press spacebar to get rid of departments. I'm also seeing region and department as my row labels. Region and department. So last name is incorrect also. I'm going to click on last name and press the spacebar to remove last name. I'm also seeing in A4 the word sum, and I'd rather see the word targets. So I'm going to type targets and press enter. And now I'm happy with the layout of my pivot table. What I would like to do now is be able to collapse and expand the amount of detail I'm seeing by region. I have a minus in front of Auckland, so I can collapse Auckland, and I can hit the plus and expand Auckland. Now the reason I'm seeing these minuses and sometimes pluses is because of a button on the Pivot Table Tools Options tab in the ribbon. To the far right is a show group, and there's a button, plus and minus buttons. If I click that, I lose my minuses. If I click it again, I get them back. Sometimes though I want to collapse each region, and it's quite tedious to go and hit the minus for each region. So instead I'll sit on Auckland, and in the Table Tools Options tab I'll use the button in the active field group called Collapse Entire Field. When I click this button, it collapses all the regions, and I'm just getting a real summarized view. If I wish to expand each region, I don't want to click each plus, so I'll choose instead Expand Entire Field. So you can collapse and expand certain areas, or collapse and expand an entire field.